So now we will get into more details about how to pay for college. So let's talk about the different types of financial aid. The first one is work study. When you are filling out your college application, you will be asked if you're interested in work study. That means if you qualify for financial aid, if you are interested in, you will get the opportunity to work at the college that you are going to. You will receive a couple of emails telling you what steps to follow in order to get the job. You have to get interviewed and go to an orientation in order for you to receive the job. For this, you need to be undocumented and be in financial need. I actually did this during my first year of college, and I would recommend it. It's really helpful for you to get comfortable in the college, to get to know more people, and to build more relationships. The second one is student loan. That's money that you need to pay back. If you don't qualify for financial aid, or if you need extra money, you can always take in a student loan. We would recommend federal loans, which are has lower interest rate, and they will be better to pay back. Also, you can apply to scholarships. These are monies that you don't have to pay back, and they are based on accomplishment, extracurricular activities, and also financial needs. You can apply as many scholarships as you want to. There are some colleges that offer specific scholarships. There are other programs that give you different scholarships. So you need to make sure that you fulfill all the requirements that they need in order for you to get the scholarship. And the final one is grants. This is money that you do not need to repay back, and it's also based on financial need. Students mostly apply to federal grants, which are like FAFSA, and that money, if you get the whole financial aid for CUNY specifically, you will be covered your full tuition. For SUNY, it will be helpful. It will give you some money, but you will have to look into other educational programs that will help you to cover more the tuition. Some good news are that many of our ICHS students qualify for financial aid, so many of them will not need to worry if they decide to go to a CUNY. They will not need to worry about paying for tuition, but if they decide to go to another college, they can also apply to, they have different options that they can apply to and still be able to afford the college. So we mostly fill out the FAFSA, which is federal grants, FAFSA and TAP. This is what will determine if you will get money for tuition or not. This is the most common path for financial aid for ICHS students. The first thing that we're going to do is create an FSA ID. This is really important because FSA ID is not only for students. We have to create an FSA ID also for parents. For that, we will need some important information as Social Security and date of birth. To be prepared that we'll be asking for that information. After we created the FSA account, we will start filling out the FAFSA. For the FAFSA application, we need your parents' taxes of 2019. So please talk with your parents right now, letting them know that that will be a requirement. If we don't have your parents' tax for 2019, we will not be able to complete the FAFSA application, and you will not be able to receive federal money, which is the most helpful financial aid that you will receive. So please, if your parents are really not sure about giving the personal information, let them know that they can always talk to us, contact us directly, and we can answer any question that they have. After completing the FAFSA application, we will also need to complete the TAP application, which is state money. That also will give you a good amount of money for tuition. So we will also need the tax information for that. We don't only need it for the FAFSA, but we also need it for the TAP. So it's really important that you talk with your parents as soon as possible. After we completed both applications, you will receive a financial award letter. You will receive an email with that information. That will tell you how much money they are giving you. After reviewing your financial aid award letter, you will determine which college is the best for you. If financial aid is something that you're really thinking about when choosing a college, you can decide which college is giving you more financial aid, which college will give you more tuition, and you will be able to cover full tuition or how much money you will have to pay out of pocket. After you make that decision and you review all your options, then you can decide which college you really want to go to. As mentioned before, we will need a copy of your tax return for 2019. So please talk with your partners right now. Let them know if they don't have their tax return with them right now. Let them know that we need it. We will start collecting in November. So please talk to them now. Without these documents, we cannot do anything. We cannot start any financial aid process. So the reason why we need your parents' 2019 tax information is because family income is calculated using information for tax forms. So depending on how much they earn in a year, that would determine if the students will qualify for financial aid or how much financial aid they will receive exactly. We will start collecting those documents in November. So please let them know that you need those documents so that when we start collecting them, you can give it to us as soon as we ask for them, and we can start filling out the application and complete the application early on time so that you have time to think about and make a decision about the college that you want to go to. So FAFSA and TAP cannot be completed with tax documents. There will be, and we need 2019. We cannot use 2020 or 2018. We need 2019 tax returns. So the financial aid money that you will receive is depend on different factors. Many of ICHS students receive significant financial aid in form of federal grants because of financial needs. This is how FAFSA determine how much money they're giving to students. For example, if there are 5 people living in your house, the annual household income should be $55,850. If the amount is that, more or less, you will be able to receive most of financial aid. And yeah, if you think that your family makes a little bit more than this and you may not qualify for federal money, is fine, because there are other options. Like there are many scholarships that you can apply to. For example, the ICHS scholarship, that's a really good application. If you decide to go to a CUNY, that can cover most of your CUNY tuition, or if you decide to go to another college, it would be a great financial help. So please don't get discouraged if you don't get full financial aid because of tax returns. You can still apply to many other scholarships and get into different programs. All this is determined by tax information. So please talk to your parents as soon as possible. Let them know that we do need their tax documents for 2019. We received a question asking which of the 4 finances is most recommended. If you are looking for, we will recommend grants, because that's money that the government gives to you and you don't have to pay back, and that's a really good amount that they give you. Also, you can scholarships are really great if you need extra financial aid or you need extra money, and there are some scholarships that you think you qualify for. You can definitely apply to many scholarships. For student loan, we will not recommend student loans unless it's like really, really necessary. You don't have any other type of financial aid. Then we will recommend for you to take a student loan. But if it's not necessary, that would be like our last choice. And if you want to have a part-time job and you don't find any other job, and outside of college, work study is great. It's not many hours. You can work up to 15 hours a week. So it's like a part-time job and it's extra money. So yeah, you have to work for it, you get many experience and get to build with people in your college.
Yeah, and I guess I would add, like, if you're thinking about the 4 types of financial aid, like we said, grants is probably, you have to go through the, you have to go through the FAFSA application and you have to give your tax information. But it seems to, like, after you do that, then they're just calculating how much financial aid you'll receive, right? But like a scholarship, usually it's not that straightforward. You have to write like an essay, or they have to you have to kind of show how have lots of accomplishments, how you participated in different extracurriculars. And if that is something that you've done in high school and in your life, then there are scholarships for you. But there are, but it feels like the kind of like where you have to just say, hey, look, I need financial aid because my family can't pay for college for me. Like the federal grants are like the best option. So yeah. An example of is like part of the process of doing financial aid is you'll receive a financial aid award letter, and you have to review it before you make your final college decision. So I'm going to show you an example, and hopefully you'll understand what is meant by this. So what you're looking at right here is a sample financial aid award letter. And basically, like once you apply to, this is specifically if you apply through FAFSA and you are going to a CUNY school, okay? So this is what that example is. And we use this example because it is what like all of our students are going to do. Like in terms, everyone's going to apply to CUNY school. So, and you will receive this letter either like in your CUNY account, SUNY account, and also your email. So whichever email you're putting in these official documents, like when you do the applications, please make sure it's an email that you check frequently, because you don't understand how many times students don't they don't make decisions based on like an email that they didn't check in their inbox. Like they think they're not getting any financial aid from the school, and it just turns out that they just didn't see it in their email. So it's very important that you check your email regularly. So in the award letter, you'll see two big things. You'll see the estimated financial aid, and in this example, it's there at the top, and the estimated cost to attend this college. All right, and you'll also see that it's divided by semester. So you'll see estimated cost, and this will be the total cost per semester. And obviously there's tuition. That's just the cost of going to that college or university. But there are other things associated with this cost. For example, fees. The fees are things like when if you have to pay for example, like part of your pay is to maintain the library. Part of your pay is to for the cost of using the computer lab at the university. So that's what the fees are. And books and supplies. So this is how much they estimate that you will need in books and supplies each semester. But this number could go lower or higher depending on which classes you're taking, how many classes you're taking. So this is like basically like an average that they're giving you. And you'll also see the section that says estimated award. And I think this example also demonstrates the different types of financial aid you can receive, like especially when you apply through the FAFSA. You'll see here like the estimated TAP for fall, the federal Pell Grant, so that's like a grant, and also the New York City Council Merit Scholarship. And so you have examples here of grants and scholarship, which means that this is financial aid that you do not need to pay back. This is just like totally free money. So it's the kind of money you want to receive in financial aid. So how do you use this information to calculate things? So basically this is what you do. You take the tuition and fees. This is how much you are supposed to pay per semester. Then you take the financial aid offered, which in this case, it's $3,500 for the tuition and fees, and then it's $3,150 for financial aid that's offered. And you find the difference, and the difference between these two is $350. And what the $350 is this is what you pay out of pocket, which means that there's a certain cost for the university. This is how much financial aid they're offering. So this is what you would pay each semester to go to that college or university. Okay, now and it's for ICHS students, it's much more common that especially for CUNY schools, you will get like all of the financial aid covered when you apply for FAFSA. That's just the reality of like our families and students, and where they fall in the financial brackets. Okay, and some students will actually get all of their financial aid covered, and they will also get like a little bit extra financial aid. Like I know students who graduated who got the FAFSA and got that little bit extra, and they use it to buy a new laptop for college. And I think that's a very good investment because you will be using the laptop a lot. Now, I know I gave you this example for CUNY schools, but this is something you should also keep in mind whether you're applying to SUNY or applying to a private school. Like in any of these situations, they will give you an estimate for how much it costs to go to the school, and you will receive a letter saying how much financial aid you will be offered. So you have to find a school that offers like the most financial aid that will pay for the most tuition, the most fees, okay? I know that some schools are much more expensive, like SUNY cost like around $11,000 per semester right now. Private schools cost a lot more, but it's really, remember that it's not the cost of the school, it's how much you have to pay out of pocket. So even if they cost a lot, but you get a lot of financial aid to cover that cost, and then when you do the math, it might actually turn out that that school is actually less expensive than other schools. So it's just something to keep in mind when you are looking at the price of different colleges and different universities.
Some of your admission will depend on your tax information and financial need. For example, let's say that you want to go to a SUNY school and you don't get accepted through the standard admission. You can still apply through the EOP program, which is an educational program based on financial and academic needs. And then they will determine if you get accepted to the college. That would be an easier way to get accepted to that specific college than general admissions. Meaning that it's really important for us to complete all the financial aid process and get your tax information. Also for CUNY, programs like CUNY ASAP are really helpful for students. They provide help with books, Metro cards, free tutors, and a personal advisor. All of that is really helpful in your first year, second year of college. And those are things that our students can take advantage of if they qualify for all the financial aid and if we obtain the tax returns. Anybody has a question about this?
Yes. What about is outside of New York, and for example in New Jersey, this method is still working outside of New York?
For New Jersey in specific, you can apply for FAFSA, but you won't be applying for other scholarships. So yeah, FAFSA can cover some, but you will still have to look at the college to see what kind of programs they have, what kind of scholarship to be able to pay for the tuition. Yeah, this is mostly in New York City, New York State.
Yeah, and also keep in mind that a lot of schools, would you say a lot or all schools, they do in-state and out-of-state tuition, Cesarina? So yeah, they all do that, right? So colleges and universities, they have two different types of tuitions. They have in-state tuition and out-of-state tuition. So all of you are residents of New York. And so as soon as you apply to a university outside of New York, the tuition will be like higher at that university. That's just the way the systems are set up. It's meant to encourage people to stay inside their own state because that's also the state where, the taxes are going towards supporting the college or university. So the idea is that if you are coming from out of state, you didn't give taxes for that. So that's a way for them to charge you for that. But it's just more expensive. So if you are making choices about going outside of New York State to go to college or university, you have to just make sure that the university you're applying to that accepts you are giving you a lot of financial aid. And once again, that's something that they will give you the information when you apply and they send you that financial aid letter. that's how you can really make those choices too. Oh, I would also like to say, like, just personally, so Cesarina was mentioning about like having an advisor through the ASAP program. I wasn't part of a program like that when I was starting off at community college, but I did talk to an advisor. I think it was like after my first year and a half at community college, and that changed a lot about like basically almost I don't want to say like it changed my life, but it really changed a lot about what I was doing at that moment. Because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just signing up for classes and thinking that, oh, I think I need to take this class or that class. And I talked to the advisor and I told her like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to transfer to this university after, and study to be a teacher, and she's like, okay. And she looked at my schedule and said, well, you're taking a lot of classes you don't have to. And so she went, you see this class? You're not taking it. No. You're going to take this class, this class, this class. And then she made a list of other classes for me to take the next 2 semesters. And she said, if you follow my plan, you will be able to transfer to that university and at the end of the year. And I was like, okay. So I followed it and boom, I transferred exactly as she planned it out. So I'm very grateful that the advisor was able to help me out there.
Okay, we cannot stress this enough. This is why we need your tax information. So please speak with your parents right now. If they, let them know that they can always talk to us directly. So we will provide an email where you can email us. They can email us if they want to. So yeah, please talk to them now so that when we ask for the information, you can give it to us. Since we're going to be virtual right now, this is how we're going to collect your information. We will ask students to please take a picture of the tax information of their parents. If your parents don't feel comfortable sharing that information with you, let them know that they can take their pictures themselves and send it to us directly. Mm-hmm. And if you are the one taking the picture, please make sure that you delete the information as soon as you give it to us. The information will be saved in a folder where only the college office will have access to it. Nobody else will have access to any personal tax information.
Yeah, and we understand that this is like, this is very private, confidential information, but it's, and so if you need help, like just, talking to your families, to your parents about this, this is where we can help you out. We could, especially, when it gets closer to November, where we start collecting this information, we are happy to set up maybe a little chat on Zoom or just over the phone with your families to just talk about this is why we need this information, and so that because we understand that this maybe you've never had this kind of conversation with your parents or families to say, hey, I need to look at the tax information. It's for school. Even just saying that I need your tax information for school is a really kind of strange phrase. So if if we need to be there to help you out, then that's what we'll do.
Now let's talk about financial aid if you are undocumented. Now students who are documented can receive financial aid through the DREAM application. This is state money that they can take advantage of. These are the major steps for to complete the DREAM application. First, they have to create an account and complete a verification application. After that, they will receive an approval from HES office telling them if they can fill out the application, if they pre-qualify to fill out the TAP application, or they don't qualify. Most of our students do qualify. After they receive the notice, then we will have to complete the TAP application, which is what's going to give you the money. We will need for the TAP application, we will need transcript, official and unofficial school transcript. After that, you will receive an email telling you if you got approved and how much money they're giving you. So yes, we will need proof of living in New York State for 2 years. We will need first your unofficial high school transcript, and then after you graduate, we will need a copy of your transcript with the date of graduation. Some really good news are that the students who graduated up to 5 years ago can still apply for the Dream Act. So if you know someone in your family hasn't gone to college because of money, this is a good opportunity for them to go now. This is really good money. If they decide to go to a CUNY, this will cover most of the tuition, and it will be a really great help for them. It will be more money than they were even receiving. So please, if you know someone, let them know. If you have a friend, a family member, let them know that they can apply to this program and get the scholarship.
Yeah, and just to add to this, there's a so like 3 years ago, I was doing this class at the school at ICHS that was to prepare students for college or university, and there were about 7 students in the class that they prepared for college, university. They had a college list. They applied to the different colleges, and like from that group, like a few of them, when it was time for them to, when they graduated and it was time for them to go to the college, they couldn't go because like they were, they were undocumented. So, it was just difficult for them to have the money to be able to pay for that tuition, like for that first semester. So, a lot of them, they couldn't pay for that first semester, and then it just like they just couldn't pay like after that as well, like even though they were accepted into colleges and universities. But since then, the college counselor at the school, she has reached out to some of them, and now they've already started this application, and some of them have been able to go back to college or university because of this opportunity from the DREAM Act. So really, like what Cecilia said, if you have any family, friends, neighbors that that they graduated from high school and the only reason that they didn't go is because they couldn't get money because they're undocumented, like this is like, this is an excellent opportunity.
Yes, if they apply, also the DREAM Act opens the door for them to be able to apply for the ICHS scholarship, which is also state money, and it's a great scholarship that will help them with the tuition needs or financial aid needs. So please let them know. Yeah, I just want to mention also that even if they are in the process of getting the green card or their documents, they can still apply and qualify for the DREAM Act. Some of the things that you can start to do right now to be ready when we start the 12th grade year is to create or review your college list if you already have one. Please make sure you have a couple of colleges that you are doing some research on, that you are curious about. If you don't know about any college, you can talk to us. We can give you some options that you can look into. And please research careers that you're interested in. It's okay if you don't know what you want to do right now. You will still have time to think, but if there is something that you like, something that you would like to know more information about, please do some research on your own. If you have something in mind, you can talk to us. We can help you find more information about, but please try to do that now so that when we start to do the applications, you have already an idea of what colleges will be better for you depending on your career. Please begin to gather your tax information and have it ready for when we need it. The sooner you have the information and send it to us, the sooner we can start the process, the sooner you will receive a financial award letter, and the sooner you will have time, the more time you will have to make a decision based on the financial aid, if that's your main worry. If you have any questions about college, about financial aid, about my college experience, about anything, you can email me. And this is the email right in the bottom. You can always email me. If your parents have questions, your family member have any question, they could also email me. The email is also in the chat, so please feel free to email me anytime. And we will be sending you an email at the end of the week so that you can have our contact information. And please try to always check your email and respond with an okay, with a yes, so that we know that you received the information.